Hi everybody, how's it going? It's Fishbowl 3J Strews here. Doing another, I guess we could call this a culture in crisis video because obviously on YouTube we're calling it culture in crisis. So today I want to just take maybe a few minutes and I want to address an issue that has been plaguing my heart for more than a year, and I think a lot of people on the internet, especially in the video game community and the MMO community, and namely, of course, anyone that goes to Twitch, I think really needs to listen to this because it's so important, and it's so important to and these are some of my personal opinions that I'm going to be sharing, and they don't reflect anyone else's, just to be very clear about that. But I think what needs to be said can largely affect the company financially and socially. From what we know about Twitch, it's supposed to be labeled as probably the most extravagant website out there that reaches out to a vast community of people that are they're geared towards gamers and having good times. And just enjoying the good times and celebrating everything gaming and celebrating everything good in their lives. Well, I have seen something that's been disturbing for a long time now, and it has never ceased to bring a lot of concern to the table. And it's the issue of drama on Twitch. I have been probably more unplanned to be more noted as Trolley Fishbowl 3, which really somehow fell on my lap a couple of years ago, and obviously misunderstood to be a person of that aura. And so hence I've been more or less labeled that way, and so many people clearly across Twitch have misunderstood me to be a number of different things that I never tried to even gear myself towards. And I saw it happen to another individual that came to me almost in tears. And the implication of what he said to me was he wasn't being treated very fairly. Now I think there's a fine line that I think we're not getting, that I think is very critical, that needs to be understood here. There is, yes, you get your troll people, you get your assholes, you get your people that are just there for just to piss someone off, and then you get people that are misperceived as trolls, but are actually very good people, innocent people, and some of them, I would digress to say, amazing people, and they are getting mistreated horribly. And and I have seen nothing being done about it. Nothing whatsoever. Now, I know that there's a lot of blackness on my face right now. I know that my camera is, my capture program really looks really disgusting, but you know what? That's about the way Twitch looks to me most of the time. When there's like communities out there that are just misunderstanding people, they're just vandalizing a lot of good people with just things like, oh, stop, or you are a waste of time, you need to just go home and just talk to your quote-unquote journal because they will listen to you and they will care. So it's like, in a sense, they're speaking for every other person on Twitch that might not even know what's going on. And you know what? That's just hard. That's just, when I think of that, it's just really bad. It's absolutely horrible. So I'm going to try illustrating something that my pastor shared with me just a few days ago, and I really haven't been able to shake this off, and it's been something really that I think makes a lot of sense, and I hope everyone watching this video is going to understand what's going on and why something needs to be done about it. Okay? So I'm going to first show in my hands here a very delicious looking apple pie. It looks tasty. It is absolutely scrumptious. Yes, folks, I know it's processed food, so this was the best that I could come up with. But just imagine this being like an apple pie that your mom might bake, or and you just, the scent of it just brings your nose right to it, and you just want to gnaw that thing right out. Just gnaw it right out and just enjoy it thoroughly and tastefully and wonderfully. And I'll tell you, you know what? When you get that smell, let me tell you that there's a common bond that happens when a lot of people just gather around that pie and enjoy it, because we're having a good time, and we're just celebrating what this pie is all about. And it might mean for some people that it's actually going to make someone else feel good. Okay? Now, I'm going to try to get the camera to focus on a copy of that pie. Okay? You're gonna see my chest. That's okay. Don't worry. Don't freak. Don't worry about the lousy footage that's going to be treated with. Now we look at these two pies and we think that they're both the same, and they're both, pretty tasty, pretty yummy. They're pretty much well worth every single bite. So what could possibly be different about these two? Nothing. All right. Now, let's just say we take this pie right here and we put, you know what I'm going to do? You guys guess what this is? Well, if you don't know already what that is, sorry about the bad camera quality in this, by the way. Here, you know what? Let me fix that. I'm just going to switch to a different viewpoint here, because it's like looking really, I'm sure everyone that's reading this is probably thinking this is looking pretty spooky. But yes, I am indeed holding a you just saw, you weren't kidding. One thing that you were not kidding is you indeed saw a bottle of ketchup. Sorry, this is let me fix this. There we go. All right. So we got the bottle of ketchup here. Okay, see it? We're going to put it a little bit into this pie here. Now, what's happened to the pie? Can any of you guys guess? It's been contaminated. So, okay, maybe you might be thinking, okay, well, it's no big deal. We just put a little ketchup on it. It'll be fine to eat. Okay, you know what? Let's just throw in another bit. Let's throw in some hot sauce. Yeah. That'll make it really great. That'll make it really look awesome. You see? let's just put some on there. Yeah, let's add some more in there. Oh, that looks so beautiful. It's so edible, right? Now, average person probably would eat that anyway if they got paid to. My guess, if they got paid, say $1 million, they would go ahead and eat that pie right now. And they would learn to adapt to it. Some would learn to adapt to it. And at this point, I suspect a lot of people, probably most people, would they would not want to adapt to that because it already looks contaminated enough. So why would you want to try to even dive into it? Okay, well, maybe some people will look past the pie, not care about the hot sauce or the ketchup, and they'll have it. They'll just have it as is. Okay, fine. You know what? So now we're gonna make it even more pretty. We're gonna put mayonnaise on the apple pie. Mayonnaise on the pie. That's right. This looks absolutely heavenly, doesn't it? Just looks. Now you just want to gush it all up and make it look nice and awesome. And it looks fandango, doesn't it? Fandango. Oh yeah, this is an awesome pie now. This is like really looking hype, right? Now, I would digress to say at this point, 20% out there would be foolish enough to have something like that. Really. And they would still think nothing of the pie. They would still think that it's just the most greatest pie in the world. And they wouldn't care that it's got mayo or it's got ketchup or it's got hot sauce. They just go right ahead. They just go right ahead, you know, and eat it. And they would. It's the most sickest thing to display, and it's no doubt it is worse than food porn, and I'm sure looking at it just makes you want to puke. And I tell you right now, I'm looking at this right now, and I can't, and I am more. It makes me want to puke too. Okay, so that 20%, that 20% of people, they want. Okay, so they don't really care. They don't really care. They're just gonna enjoy that pie, celebrate it, and have a great time with it, out of it, and they won't even care that it's so messy. They won't. So let's put something else on there. My favorite type of mustard in real life, spicy brown mustard. It goes good on hot dogs. No, I'm not endorsing it, but it looks really. It's actually pretty spicy and it's pretty cool. But you know what? Now we're going to put it on the apple pie. Yeah. I think we got ourselves a winner here. This is the most amazing pie we've ever had in our entire life. And it took 5 minutes to build it. And it can only get better. Well, I got news for you. It's actually disgusting! There's no way anyone would and realistically no one would want to eat that type of pie. And you know what? That is exactly what Twitch is. It claims to be so awesome, but then just look. Let's look at this for a minute, okay? You got your ketchup, you got your mayo, and you've got all kinds of weird things in there that just pollute that pie, and it makes it really disgusting. Now, so that's what Twitch looks like in terms of people that are being mistreated. So really what happens is what most people will do is they will misunderstand the intention of this and just look at the people as just people causing trouble, or the mayo just wanting to be there, or the ketchup just wanting to be there. Those misunderstood people is nothing more than mayo, ketchup, or any other disgusting piece of garbage you want to put in this pie. All right? So instead, what's really happening is instead of trying to figure out, well, why is their life so messed up? Why is their life such a mess? And why is it so, heartbreaking? Okay? Instead, what they'll do is they'll just say, go away. Well, that may work for some people, but it doesn't exactly work for everyone. Okay? Because saying that, is all it's going to do is it's going to make them feel isolated and hurtful and just feeling like no, they can't share video games with other people. So, and so that's why a lot of people misunderstand people to be trolls, and it's why a lot of people are just getting ignored. And the trouble that occurs here is they want to stay and broadcast on Twitch in this condition. So this is what happens. This is what's been happening for the last 5 years. It wasn't so much more. It wasn't this hard. And when I think about how I've been treated and how others have been treated, this is the result of very messed up community. So this is kind of what Twitch is. It's a lot. I'm not trying to dog on anyone here. I know what probably to many people watching this right now, I'm sure it sounds a lot like I'm dogging a lot of people right now, and I'm not. But there is a lot of people out there that mistreat people that are no different than you and I. They're about the same as you and I. No, they may be different, but we're all nerdy in our own ways. But this is the result. This is how they end up being treated. Okay? Now, I really believe something can be done about this pie. I really think, that, like I've said from the very start of this year, that a lot of people that are being mistreated, they don't have to be treated that way. We don't have to treat others like that. And instead, we can just respect them for who and what they are, and not try to be, scolding and simply just assuming people are causing trouble. Again, let me remind you, there are people that are like that. But what a lot of Twitch does not realize is there's also people that aren't intentionally trying to be like that. I will digress to say maybe 20% does. Okay? Maybe 20%. And I firmly believe with all of my heart and soul, and I promise you guys, I am not trying to even sound trolly. I am not trying to sound like a psycho. I promise you right now, I don't need to even go into a psych ward. I can promise you right now, I'm not trying to dog the community at all. What we're trying to do is take a very messy situation and make it into a better one. And I think a lot of us can do that if we want to. But all I do know is the way that it's been going, it cannot stay the way it is. It cannot stay that way. So the best solution is when we see people that are treating, that are just abusing innocent people, hence the mayo, the ketchup, the hot sauce, and the mustard, and just abusing a lot of simple people that are just trying to, fit in. There's ways around it. You know what that is? Well, what do you do with trash? I think this is pretty simple. Let me show you. You know what we do? We throw it in the garbage pail. And I'll tell you, when the garbage is taken out, we don't need to see it anymore. I think if we place some serious boundaries, if Twitch were to just create a human resource department that really cared about people and really showed genuine interest and not just saying the words or just trying to look that way, then I can guarantee you it's this pie right here that Twitch will reflect. Now, I'm not trying to dog Twitch. As I said, I know a lot of the time it really looks that way. But I'll tell you right now, I have talked to several people that agree with me. I'm not going to mention names, that feel that Twitch has indeed become a lot of, play favorites, say something nice about everyone else, not take credit for everyone else that's there. And so what happens is some people will feel pretty bad, no different than and then just turning good ingredients into bad ingredients and not even knowing that it's happening. So my whole point for doing this illustration is to plead on behalf of every single person in the Twitch community and on the internet that has been treated like crap and never deserved it. It should never happen. I shouldn't even have to be making this video to even express it. I should be. But there is a segment right now around this, maybe, I don't know, 1 million viewer community where I can guarantee there's about maybe 25% of people that are being bullied, being mistreated, and being scolded for basically trying to be themselves. And that breaks my heart. And it has for quite a while. It's happened to me. And it's happened to a lot of people. Now, if we can put our heads together and really stop and think about, how the actions that we do affect other people, not just emotionally, but on a heart level. Okay? Here's what I'm thinking can happen. A lot more people will have the common sense to be able to distinguish between, who's really being trolly and who's not. There is, again, a segment of people that are just craving. I'm not even kidding around. I know it sounds like an old lady wanting compliments, but there is a segment of people out there that deserve so much better. And I believe that God made them all uniquely. And so I think that they should be loved and treated that way. They should never have been treated the way I've seen. And so, in closing of this YouTube video, actually, I don't think there's really an easy way to close it, to be perfectly honest. But something has to be done. Because, I'll tell you, if it doesn't happen, as great as the revenue that Twitch is making, it will get worse. It has happened in so many other businesses, clear cut across the country, and it's caused a lot of bankruptcy because of it. It's an issue that's very much overlooked, and it's not really looked into a whole lot in a lot of companies. But I can tell you one thing's for sure: one little effort that we make, and we can definitely make the gaming community a lot more friendlier and more supportive, and the MMO community, and people would be more friendlier and courteous and thoughtful and more selfless than selfish. Okay? And once that happens, let me tell you, we'll start seeing something more like people getting along, and not only just getting along, but respecting people, as it says in so many channels on Twitch, mine included, respecting people for who and what they are, no matter how stupid or dumb things might be. They'll just be respected for who and what unless if they truly are trying to be trolly, in which case, then that needs to be dealt with. But if they're not, we gotta get to know them a lot. And I know this is really a major case in California. Not everyone, but for the very most part, culture there is just if something looks really off, then boom, we'll just pick them out of the garden and just forget about them, without really considering how they're feeling, what they're doing, or why, or anything. Instead, they just gloss over them. Unless you take the time to get to know each and every little nook and cranny of the pie. Now, once that happens, then you get a community of people that get along, and it's real, and it's absolutely it's a community that is worth pursuing. And let me tell you, that is the kind of pie that I want to see. Mmm. 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 That's a good pie. That's good. You know what? I'm gonna have another. Mmm. 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 Now, why does that pie taste so great? Because it's a vision. It is a vision of what Twitch can be. It's a vision of what I think Twitch can be very much better than what it is. It can be more expanded. It can reach a lot of people that are far outside the gaming community and might actually want to play games, maybe. Whether you have depression, whether you have ADHD, whether you have anxiety. Folks, we are going through some very difficult times right now, socially speaking. And a lot of people like that, like myself, have been treated very unfairly. And I know I've said it many times, and if you've been able to hear me say that phrase 5 or 6 times already, then I applaud you. You've got a lot of patience, and I thank you for that. But I don't think any of us want to be part of a community that has garbage treatment in it. I guarantee you that everyone that's watching this right now, and if you're a Twitch caster, you have dealt with a segment of them. My encouragement to all of you watching this video right now is ask your viewers first before you hit that timeout button. Ask them if that was their intention. That has been a golden rule on my channel for the last 5 years. Is I want to be able to give people a fair chance. And yes, it's very tough to know that for sure just by looking at a few letters on a chat room. But you have to consider that there are real people that are going through some tough times and only feel that they can have a sugar-coated personality show rather than who they truly are. And if you truly believe, there's potential for a friendship here, then those are the seeds. Those are the seeds that's going to make Twitch even more meaningful of a site than it is. So thank you very much for watching. And I do look forward to seeing all your comments in the comment section. And thank you for watching.